pleased to bring on our next guest here to talk some politics with him. It's quite a coincidence. He's the third guy that we've had from Newsday, following Ken Davidoff, who we've talked baseball with, and Neil Best from the Watchdog. Third person that we've had from the Fox News/Fox Business combo after Liz Clayman and Eric Bolling. So he's the third of both, but I was really looking forward to getting him on. He's a gentleman who's got a lot of variety as far as everything that he's done. He adds to that sports with having co-written Sean Payton's book that came out this year, Home Team, also a voice on the Cartoon Network. I have Derek Stormy Waters, and known predominantly for his political and news columns and appearances on the Fox News Channel. I speak, of course, of Ellis Henican. Ellis, it's a pleasure to get you on the show here tonight. I've been watching you for a long time on Fox News. A pleasure to have you on, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, boy. It's nice to hear that my pals have been beating the path. You actually got some of the better people at Newsday and some of the better people at Fox. I got to give you a compliment on both of those.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we enjoyed both of them. We've had Neil on several times, and we've had Liz on twice, and I really enjoyed it on both ends there. And I was looking forward to getting you on. I was very happy when our producer Steve Servillo said that you were going to be in the queue here. I tell you what, I want to lead with some thoughts here. Give you a chance to talk about the book here that you and Coach Sean Payton co-wrote, Home Team. I'd like to get your it's sort of a two-part question here. Your thoughts on what it was like to do the project with the coach, talking about really what that team meant to the city of New Orleans, and then secondarily, if Reggie Bush is indeed on the verge of coming back, what's that going to do for that offense with the way that you have to account for him on the field? And they really haven't had that for the last 2 months.
No, that's right. Let's start with the second one first. I mean, Reggie is important on two levels. I mean, one is he performs well, but he also is kind of an emotional spark to the team and to the fans as well. I mean, he is just somebody that has that kind of bounce to him and that energy to him, and even all the troubles he's had this year, you know, with the Heisman stuff and some of the other things swirling around in the injury, he still is crucial just to the psychology of the team. And I think having him back on the field is definitely going to spur them on. You know, in a moment where they're kind of at this point they're hanging in there. They're a plausible contender. You know, they're not quite what they were last year, but you know, maybe a couple of bounces their way, and they really will be. As for the book,
first night here in the new digs. Apparently we can only do one guest at a time, which we didn't know ahead of time here. We'll be working on that before the next show. Really want to thank Ellis Henican for being back on with us. Can't thank him enough. You were in the middle of your answer about the Saints here. We're just working with Coach Sean Payton and really what that win meant to the city, and you were talking about having grown up there and experienced it yourself, what the Saints mean to a community.
You know, it is. Listen, obviously every team and their fans have a special relationship, but you know, you've got to see what that city went through after Katrina, and frankly, you know, what a mess the Saints had been for so many years, and you really had two beleaguered institutions. You know, nobody gave either one of them very much hope, and yet they somehow or another inspired each other to really quite a bit of greatness, and that's really the story we tried to tell.
It really was a great book and everything, and the tales that were in there, and very inspirational in the manner that you just documented there. As far as politics, I wanted to get your take, of course, you know, in the wake of the midterms, and I was reading your columns leading up to that, and you've indicated and predicted, of course, gridlock, which I think, you know, for the next 2 years does really appear to be the case with the chambers of the Congress in separate hands, and of course the executive branch still in the hands of the Democrats through 2013 at least. And looking at this now, and I will say that as somebody who more or less, I would say, was rooting for the Republicans in this election here, I didn't want them to actually take over. I don't have a lot of faith in the ability of these guys who really kind of ran things into the ground when George W. Bush was president. I would have rather seen Nancy Pelosi with a toothless 3-vote majority. Is it understandable why somebody on my side might say that, as opposed to putting my faith in the hands of John Boehner, who now has to lead instead of just saying no?
Listen. You know, I think more and more people are ending up kind of where you are, which is, you're probably conservative about some stuff, you're liberal about some other stuff, maybe you want your taxes to be low, but you don't care if a couple of gay guys want to get married, On the other hand, you have little faith in either one of these parties. I mean, listen, how can any smart person think that the answers to all our problems lie in John Boehner or Nancy Pelosi? I mean, I wouldn't turn my thinking over to either one of them.
No, I can understand that, and with Mitch McConnell in the Senate, I think that might have been even perhaps worse because, again, what gets projected out there to independents, and independents are the ones that swung this election so decisively to the Republicans, the image that they put forth. By the same token, there are a lot of folks on the Democratic side who have posited, and I think very wisely that. This notion of the cuts that are going to be necessary, everything really does seem to be kind of empty. We're not hearing a lot of rhetoric. As somebody who does believe in the necessity of cuts to avoid the fate of Greece, whether it be areas of the Defense Department that should be addressed, entitlement spending, et cetera, it really is kind of dispiriting. And I think probably one would think that a lot of your favorite politicians are going to be poised to make hay from that in the next 2 years. The fact that everybody seems to go into the Jackie Gleason humming routine when they want to know specifics.
Yeah, listen, I've reached a point of being a little cynical about all of it. I mean, I think that the stuff that we make people do in order to have success in politics, to raise money from a bunch of people who have their hands out, to beat up on their opponents with negative ads, to pander to very narrow sets of voters with these kind of dumb hot button issues. I think it kind of ensures that we're going to get lied to or manipulated and not have people with integrity in politics. And so, I just don't have that much faith on either side. I mean, there's particular issues that I care about, but I think I'm like most people today. I mean, I don't think our solutions are going to come from these people.
Well, I agree with that, and I think that's very refreshing to hear because I don't have faith in an awful lot of people. I used to. I'm sort of a recovering partisan, now more of an ideologue than a partisan. And again, it's really tough to see that, you talked about that gridlock, and that's what's going to be on us for the next 2 years. And I heard a lot of people glorifying that. And I've heard, the Rush Limbaughs, gridlock's great. I look at that. Anything gridlock, anything status quo, how do you have a soul if you don't want things to get better? I mean, you can say, okay, at least maybe things won't get worse if bad ideas are put into place. But how can anybody celebrate things not getting any better? I just don't understand.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, listen, I understand when the other side, whatever the other side is in charge. It's kind of tempting to say, well, hey, at least I could stop them from doing what they're trying to do. And that might even make some sense if we did not have some really big problems that we kind of need to get a grip on here. I mean, we do need to have an economy that produces more jobs. We do need to find a way out of these two wars that basically everybody's completely sick of at this point. We do have an immigration policy that's a total irrational mess. We got to do something about that, right? I mean, I could take down a list. I'll give you 20 others if you want them, but these are, saving Social Security. I mean, these are not trivial things, and unless we can come together and come up with some actual solutions, I think life gets worse.
Well, I would agree with that, too. And as far as a point that you made on Fox News Watch, and I saw you make it at the time, and then I subsequently saw the clip on the Internet about letting Sarah Palin speak, that from your point of view, you're perfectly happy to see that happen. I have to say, your colleague there at Fox News, I don't understand, and I say this as somebody who has previously been pretty gung-ho about Mrs. Palin. She seems deliberately to be cultivating the whole anti-intellectualism thing, that she's so happy to try to stick at the guys like you. I think she's just killing herself in the eyes of the independents. I'm just sitting here groaning, going, what the hell are you doing? You could go out there and try and make substantive answers, talk about what you did in your career with Alaska, talk about what you did when you were with the oil and gas pipeline, and expose the corruption. There's so many things she could be talking about, and it's all you betcha and Mama Grizzly and this stuff. Ellis, I'm wanting to pull my hair out.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I think the woman's kind of dumb. She obviously has some charisma, and there is a core of people. It's a shrinking core, but I mean, it's a pretty good-sized group, 25, 30, 35% of people really like her, really connect with her. And, you know, she turns out big crowds and she can raise a ton of money. But, I mean, think back on the stuff she has said about big issues. You know, I just don't think there's a lot of, you know, the elevator doesn't go all the way up, I don't think. I mean, I just don't hear the kind of things you would want from somebody who's at a high level of national office. I don't know. Maybe it's there, but I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know stuff as well as I thought I did in her case too. And I will say too, and I realize that paleos like me, that's kind of a minority within a minority position here. But I'll tell you what, I've heard some people say this as well who agree with me on this, that her whole neocon thing here, you know, a year or two ago, she wasn't really sounding the whole bomb Iran and do all this, you know, she sounded a little chastened on that stuff in 2008, back when the wounds of Iraq were a little bit fresher. But I think she's potentially losing some people with this militarism. Her militarism is what is scaring me more than anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, do you know people who really want to go to war with Iran?
No.
You know, I mean, these first two have worked out so great, we should take on a third, a more difficult one?
Yeah.
Listen, you know, in our business, she's obviously been gold. I mean, she is somebody that everybody has an opinion about. She's a unique character in politics, and, you know, that's good for my business, right? I mean, I like writing and talking about that stuff. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't worry me so much as long as she seems like kind of a marginal character. I guess if she runs in 2012, which is certainly possible, and if she starts doing really well, then you'll be scaring the bejesus out of me, and then I'll get all somber about it. For now, I'll take a pretty lighthearted view, though.
Well, you know, and the elevator going all the way to the top, that is kind of a lighthearted view there, but, you know, very well expressed as always. Ellis, you know, it was a big pleasure to get you on the program here tonight. As I say, I've been watching you on TV for a long time and have really enjoyed it, and was looking forward to the chance to do this here. We always give our guests a chance to plug away here. I know you've got your official website at Henican.com, your work at Newsday as well as Fox News, the cartoon work with C-Lab 2021, the book with Sean Payton. Anything that I'm missing, sir?
Listen, no wonder I'm so tired. When you're running through a list like that, it sounds like a lot. No, the website's a great thing. If you keep up with the stuff I'm doing, it's Henican.com, Henican. And pretty much every day when I roll out of bed, there'll be something new there. So no, I appreciate it. It's fun to be with you, doing a terrific show.
Well, thank you very much. You know, we love to have great conversation with people on this show. You certainly fit the bill. Hey, you're welcome anytime, sir. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Okay, Ellis Henican, everybody, from Newsday, Fox News.